Okay, so we're going to get to our last presentation, which actually happens to be my presentation. So if you can help me with this, I really appreciate it. I'll need your participation. So this is called It Speaks to Me. The arts speak to me in ways I cannot fully articulate. As I could not live without breathing, I could not imagine how I could possibly get through the day without a song, an image, movement, a turn of phrase. The arts. Oh, how they speak to me. They record my days. They make meaning out of meaninglessness. They seek eternal truths. They inform me of what it means to be human. They raise my spirits. They touch my soul. The arts speak to me. So throughout my 56 years on this earth, I have been involved in the arts as a practitioner or a patron. And for the past 3 years, my passion has been. So lately, I've been interested in science fiction and writing a novel in which I will provide you with an excerpt, but I'm going to need your help with presenting it as a reading. So I'd like to know who would like to assist me. I need 3 volunteers. Jonathan, yes. Eric, yes. Who else? Yes. Okay, all right. Yeah, Christopher. That's your name, right? Christopher. And, okay, so why don't you, are my music stands in here? Or did they not make it in here? Okay, well, we're not going to worry about it. Come on up. Come on up. And what we'll do is we'll have you stand here. Come on up here. Thank you for coming up. And I'll give you your cards. Okay, Christopher, you're going to be the narrator, and that's the part that's not colored at all. You will be Mr. Tolbach. That's okay. And you are going to be Lieutenant Commander Ian McAllister. And that's in pink. Okay, and so this takes place, this story is, that's going to be good part. It's going to take place in the future. Christopher will talk about that in a moment. And are we loud enough for everybody? Can you hear us? Okay, good. So we'll try to use our theater voices in doing this. So, Christopher's the narrator. I am a young cadet. So you got to use your imagination. I'm a young cadet, and my supervisor is Mr. Tolbach. And we are at Academy, a Starfleet Academy, at the time called the Galactic Academy. And Eric is going to play a lieutenant commander in the past, who was the supervisor for Mr. Tolbach at one time. That was 20 years in the past. So we will begin.
The scene is 200 years into the future at Galactic Academy in San Diego. At her workstation in Mr. Tolbach's office, 30-year Galactic Academy cadet Keisha Williams could not help hearing the supervisor's voice as he spoke to one of his research assistants using a telegram at his workstation. Although seemingly calm and even-tempered, Tolbach's words spoke of his displeasure with the progress of one of the research projects.
And signed Slowish, let me remind you the experiment has surpassed its expected completion date by 33.4 days and is over budget by 49,378 credits. You should know I'm very close to relieving you as project manager. The deciding factor will be a plan detailing the course of action needed to be taken to ensure the success of this venture. I expect it in my e-box within the next 72 hours. Tolbach out.
From her workstation, Cadet Williams could see Mr. Tolbach had resumed his review of research project reports on his computer screen. She tried to read his disposition, but the expressionless facade portrayed did not reveal any clues.
That's just like an accordion. She You can never really tell what is going on in his mind.
This was the day Williams had promised herself she would speak with him about upgrading her current position as a course aide. However, given his conversation, she realized it may not be the best time to bring up this issue, even though she had already put off addressing the matter for several weeks. Williams met the inquiry at his desk, but Toback did not take his eyes off the screen when he acknowledged her.
Yes, Cadet Williams.
Sir, I have completed marking the exams from the ethics course.
Did you send the corrections and comments to the students?
Yes, as instructed, sir. I also placed electronic copies of the corrected papers in the shared folder for the course.
Without looking at her, he responded, "Very good. You have proven yourself quite efficient with your work."
Thank you, sir. She began to lose her nerve, but then thought, Williams, he's actually gave you a compliment. Don't back down now.
Toback finally turned his face from his computer screen to look at her.
Cadet, why have you not returned to your workstation? Do you not have your next assignment?
Yes, sir. I have my schedule of assignments for the entire semester as you have provided for me.
Then why are you not initiating the next task?
Permission to speak freely, sir.
Permission granted.
Sir, I look forward to serving as one of your assistants because of all the challenges I was sure it would bring. If one looks at the record, a number of your assistants have co-written major articles with you and presented their work at intergalactic conferences. However, after 11 weeks, all I'm offered is the opportunity to apply your detailed rubrics and pre-written comments to student papers and record their scores. Something I am sure even a trained monkey could do.
First, Cadet Williams, you have only functioned in this position for 10 weeks, 4 days, 10 hours, and 17 minutes, not 11 weeks. Second, apparently you did not read your position description carefully. You are a course aide, not a research assistant. It is the latter position that better lends itself to the scholarly activities you have cited. While your responsibilities may not appear as challenging as you may like, this type of work is necessary for the courses to which I am assigned in order to provide me with the time required to oversee the Scientific Research Division. However, if you are not satisfied with your current placement, then I will make it a point to arrange another assignment for you that may better suit your aspirations.
Silence. This is not the way she had wanted the conversation to turn. She had felt his dark brown eyes burrow into her, while the impassivity of his facial expressions had the effect of slightly unnerving her. Williams took a deep breath and spoke.
Professor Toa, I apologize. The last thing I wanted to do was give you the impression I would desire to change in my placement. However, I would be less than honest if I did not admit to be disappointed in not securing an RA position.
Disappointment is an irrelevant emotion.
She took another breath.
I just thought that after 10 weeks, 4 days, and 19 minutes, I would have earned your confidence in my abilities, which would have led to greater responsibilities.
Unexpectedly, he stood up from his chair, creating an intimidating presence as he towered over her.
Cadet Williams, I have already conveyed my assessment of proficiency of your work. Your skills have undoubtedly been allocated appropriately. I see no need for change at this time.
There was no opposing subtext here. She could hear nothing in his tone of voice or see anything in his body posture or facial expression that offered any hope she could persuade him otherwise. She capitulated, but with an edge to the tone of her response.
Thank you for your consideration of the matter. I'm looking forward to the next assignment of reading the preliminary thesis statements from the students' proposed research papers. I will apply your rubric and pre-written comments as directed while keeping my irrelevant emotions in check.
Feeling her face grow flush, Williams returned to her workstation and brought up a folder containing the student submissions to her computer screen. One of her braids fell down across her face, and she quickly tried to put back into place before a meeting, and Corrigan had a chance to give another lecture on regulation hairstyles. Suddenly, she became aware of her supervisor's presence beside her.
Cadet Williams, With completion of the exams from the ethics course, I have noted you are ahead of schedule with your assignments.
She kept her eyes on the computer screen.
By approximately 2 days.
Also, you have 2 hours, 33 minutes, and 57 seconds left in your workday.
That is correct, sir.
Then you have time to accompany me on a field trip.
Catching her off guard, she turned to me.
A field trip, sir?
Yes, a field trip is an instructional excursion for the purpose of first-hand examination of an event or place.
Mr. Tovek, I know its definition. However, I haven't been on a field trip since I was a child.
Is it your contention that such an activity has no value for an adult?
No, sir, I wasn't trying to say it had no worth.
Very well. Then we should be on our way to transporter terminal.
Tovek started toward the door, while Williams grabbed her bag and hurried to catch up to the long striding inquiry.
Where are we going, sir?
Brooklyn.
It took Tovek and Williams more time to walk to the Galactic Academy Transporter Terminal than to being 2,915 miles to the Brooklyn station. Once there, Williams again quickened her steps in order to match the inquiry's pace as they walked to a park in the shadow of the suspension bridge. When he stopped there, she seemed unimpressed with their destination. Williams asked,
Is this it, sir?
Yes,
But it's just a bridge, sir.
it is the Brooklyn Bridge.
Yes, sir.
Are you at least aware of its significance in your Earth's history?
the 26-year-old cadet tried her best to recall information she learned in school over a decade ago.
Yeah. It's an ancient bridge from the 21st century. No, that can't be right. I believe it dates back to Earth's 20th century.
The 19th century, he corrected her. To be precise, it opened to the public on May 24th, 1883.
At the time it was built, it was the longest suspension bridge in the world. I think it took advantage of developments in steel wire to allow for its length.
That is correct.
From this vantage point, I would say the bridge is about a mile long.
You were off by 11.84%, which is not within an acceptable range of error. The bridge is actually 5,989 feet in length.
Yes, sir, Williams wondered. Was it really necessary to go all the way across the United States just to humiliate me?
Still, she continued her attempt to recollect more facts.
At the time, the two Gothic-inspired towers were the tallest structures in the Western Hemisphere.
276 feet, 6 inches above high water on the over the East River. Is there any other nugget of illuminating information you would like to add on this structure?
Williams swallowed not out of intimidation, but to hold back her seething response to his smug attitude. Then, another recollection did come to mind.
The Brooklyn Bridge was one of the few man-made landmarks remaining on this planet after World War III ended in 2053.
Williams waited for another correction, but surprisingly, none came. Silence.
Walk with me, Cadet Williams.
She followed him from the park to the entrance of the bridge promenade. He stood by as others, pedestrians, workers, tourists, and school groups, entered the broad walk. She watched the Anchorian as he seemingly prepared himself for his journey by looking toward the structure of limestone, granite, cement, and wood, supported by a web of steel cables. His green-tinged face actually bore something close to what could be considered as a human expression. Williams thought.
Could it possibly be reverence?
She followed him as he finally began to walk at an uncharacteristically leisurely pace.
Miss Williams, are you aware I also undertook cadet training at Galactic Academy?
Yes, sir. I believe you were the first Anchorian to do so, and the only one to complete the usual 4-year officer training course in 2.5 years. Considering your education on an Anchorian, the Academy must have appeared quite elementary to you, sir.
I excelled as expected academically, but to become a galactic officer, one needs to be competent in more than scholarly endeavors. With the Galactic Academy dominated by humans, some with xenophobic attitudes, I found my ability for social interactions to be quite inadequate. I know that observation may be difficult to believe, judging by the ease I speak with humans today.
Williams wisely chose not to respond. So that continued.
By the end of my first year with the Galactic Academy, I seriously considered returning to my home planet to pursue my studies at the Anchorian Science Academy. However, a young faculty member intervened, Lieutenant Commander Ian McAllister.
Captain McAllister as a young man? What was he like?
Taking your cue from the Anchorian Studies Stern book, Williams decided to abandon that line of dialogue.
Please go on, Mr. Tobet.
During the second semester, the lieutenant served as my instructor in tactical weapons. At the end of one of the last course sessions, he approached me and asked if I was considering leaving the academy. When I answered in the affirmative, he said, "Let's go on a field trip."
Cadet Tobak and Lieutenant Commander McAllister stood at the entrance to the Brooklyn Bridge. McAllister spoke with a sense of awe.
It was designed by a German immigrant named John Rogan. After a freakish fatal accident, the project was taken over by his son, Washington Augustus Rogan. When Washington became incapacitated by his work, his wife, Emily, got into the project with a team of relatively young and inexperienced tenured engineers. For 13 years, mostly workers of Irish descent labored to build the bridge under extremely difficult and dangerous conditions. Their bravery, born out of economic desperation, was not without great sacrifice, as the work took the lives of 27 men and disabled a number of others.
Given the circumstances, it is understandable why Terrans cite the bridge's completion as one of the most significant engineering achievements in Earth history.
It was much more than that to them.
I realized the bridge also served as an iconic symbol of the New York skyline and served as a popular cultural image throughout its history.
The lieutenant did not respond immediately, but seemed to take time to consider his next words.
Cadet Tobak, do you believe in providence?
No, sir, I do not. There is no comparable word to providence in the Anchorian language, since the word implies a belief in divine intervention. For beings of science, such a concept is unsound.
Well, I do believe in providence. I became a believer when I came to understand the true significance of this bridge. The first miracle was that there were Terrans who somehow survived World War III, that brutal barbaric conflict, which reduced our global population by 66%. If you read the survivor accounts of the period written after the hostiles ended, one experience appeared to dominate our ancestors. No matter where they were in the world, they were numb. A numbness that paralyzed their minds, spirits, and souls. A numbness which threatened to finish what the nuclear bombs had not accomplished, the extinction of the human race.
McAllister paused, his face revealing the weight of this pivotal point in human history. Then he continued.
No one knows why, but on September 11, 2053, a group of 7 survivors from Maryland made a pilgrimage to the Brooklyn Bridge. They stood here at the entrance of the bridge, at first hesitant at making the journey. Then, one of them stepped forward, a woman named Araminta Ross. She told the others she would be willing to guide them across. However, once they made that commitment, there was no turning back. If anyone lost their nerve, she said, I'll throw you into the river myself. Then, with Araminta in the lead, they took their first steps onto the promenade.
McAllister began to move along the boardwalk while Tobak finished.
And as they moved along the wooded plains, the numbness that had been their companion for so long began to melt away. In its place came grief, joy, regret, suspicion, trust, vindictiveness, compassion, hate, and love. Not the least of these emotions was love. By the time these pilgrims reached the first tower, they were weeping and laughing, and holding on to each other and letting go.
Skeptically, Tobeck asked,
This phenomenon was ascribed to a bridge.
McAllister stopped and turned toward the Emporium.
The bridge gave sanctuary for those needing a place to reclaim their humanity. After news spread about what happened on that day, pilgrims came from all over the world to allow Eremita to take them on this journey. Once again, it allowed our ancestors to dream, create, invent, develop, and build. It was this bridge that saved us.
McAllister continued to walk. Tobeck did not know why, but he hesitated to follow. This man of science now somehow found the bridge to be disquieting. He finally moved to catch up with McAllister. Nothing more was said until they stood under the first tower. McAllister held the bridge in his gaze, and he simply stated,
She's so beautiful.
as the Emporium took in the grand view of the structure, he commented,
I must agree, it is aesthetically pleasing.
I, Dr. Rollins, or any other man involved in building her, knew that they were creating a great work of art. But that's what she is.
Sir, I do not understand why you choose to personify it.
I think you know all too well why I do. An artist once said, art is meant to disturb. Science reassures.
silence. Not a quiet silence, but an absence of words, for there was no spoken language to describe what Tobeck was feeling. Emotions. The emotions he had tried to suppress all his life now challenged his impassive veneer. He looked to McAllister and realized the lieutenant knew. He knew that in this tyrannical world, Tobeck had been terribly lonely. Although born of an Emporium father and human mother, he had spent his entire life denying his own humanity. Yet to remain at the Galactic Academy, he could not continue to maintain the shield he had placed between himself and these beings. Tobeck needed to make a human connection, and this man, this young Tyrann, this lieutenant commander, was offering himself as a bridge to that connection.
McAllister reached out his hand.
And Tobeck received his gesture.
At the conclusion of Tobeck's story, all was still. Williams could not speak, for there was no spoken language to describe what she was feeling. She could not look at him. She could not prevent shame from entering her soul. As tears welled up in her eyes, she cast her look downward. Through the spaces between the boardwalk planks, she saw the river water churning beneath her feet. This aspiring xenological linguist had studied alien cultures at self-imposed distance. An eager student, she aggressively delved into her discipline, collecting knowledge on those unlike herself. However, she was careful not to allow her humanity to be affected by that experience. She had believed
Aliens were others, not people, not humans, not like me. They are different. He's different. Mr. Tobeck is different.
Tobeck and Williams stood under the great Gothic tower of the bridge. Silence.
Tobeck reached out his hand.
But Williams could not receive this gesture. Yeah. So that's it. Thank you so much. And so I really appreciate everyone coming today. We're going to have final comments from my partner in today's program. And this is the radio and television area head at Detroit School of the Arts. She's also the University of Michigan liaison, Ms. Beverly Morrison Green.
Good afternoon. Thank you all for coming. Most of all, thank you to Dr. Anderson for this vision to have an upstart program here in Detroit. Detroit is artistic places I've ever been to in my life. I've traveled all over the place, even all over the world, and every time I come back to Detroit, I find something special and unique about this place. I often say that God placed me at Detroit School of Arts for a purpose and a reason. I didn't know why, because I didn't think that I would ever be teaching. But when I sit and listen to these young people from University High School, from Detroit School of Arts, even from schools all over the state of Michigan, it is an expression and it's something that they call their own. It's something that's unique for them. And without the arts, I just, as some of them said, we cannot realize the best them. We can't realize the best people. You know, as they were reading, I watched Dr. Anderson's face, and I could see parts and portions and say, okay, something's about to happen, because her face were like, And I was watching her as the artist. But I also saw visuals of everything that she was saying, because that's who I am. I'm visual. So every time they said something, I was like, okay, you probably should have something like a Star Trek outfit on, and then I see something beaming and them floating through the air, and I just kept seeing things visually, because that's the art. So I am so thankful for people like Dr. Anderson, and for the parents and grandparents who support people, and the teachers, and the producers, and people from all around that continue to support what our young people are all about. I'm very passionate about helping and assisting these young people in realizing their dreams, because I was that kid one day, and today I stand here. I'm not going to get emotional. Miss Sharp over there, Cecilia Sharp, knows I will cry in a minute. I will definitely let it go, because I am very passionate about assisting our people, our young folks, in their expressions of love, passion, anger. Because as one of them stated, if it weren't for that passion that they have, if they weren't able to release that pain inside, we've seen people who are now locked up because of that. But we've also seen people who are locked up who express artistically. You know, I've seen some beautiful, beautiful art come out of prisoners because it's in them, because that art is an expression for them. So once again, I thank you this afternoon for committing and staying all day. It was a beautiful day. I certainly wish more people were here to experience this wonderful expression, the wonderful essays that were read. Next year, though, we're going to make it bigger and better. Right? Thanks again.